Well, well. Back again. Um, Back from another day of surfing this morning, and we got the differential in the last time you saw. Drive lines measured up. This is what's going to happen. Oil, some zinc additive, plugs, oil pressure gauge, carb studs, gaskets, that thing. But first is this thing. So this motor, my good friend Rob gave to me. So as the story goes, this motor was in his little S10 pickup that he used to rip around in. Had an automatic. It was burnout machine is what he called it. That was his toy. It was a burnout toy. And it's been sitting for several years now. And he got this crazy idea that he wanted an LS motor. So Rob's kind of nuts. I don't blame him. LS motors are kind of neat. And so that's what his idea was. Just yank this thing out and get an LS. So we found a van with a 6-liter and a 4L80 and a 5.3 with 80,000 miles and another 4L80 and some other stuff. And now his little S10 has a 6-liter in it, and we've been working on that and making the exhaust and all that fun stuff like that. So this motor was up for grabs, and so that's what it is. So it's a I don't know if you guys remember back when. So I think they've been named several things. It was Shucks, Kragen, Star Auto, Checkers, and I think now they're O'Reilly's. But they were used to have like claimer motors for like circle track, or just like crate motors. You could buy like short blocks, long blocks, whatever. So this is one of the claimer style racing, round racing, hot rod, forged, awesome, fun stuff that you could buy from them. That's the short block. And the cam is basically an Edelbrock Performer RPM cam. And then these heads are Dart Pro 1 215s. And they flow a lot. They flow like I forget, they're like 290 or something CFM, something like that, compared to 240 for the Edelbrock heads. So what my buddy wanted was he wanted to make his own version of the Edelbrock Performer RPM package on a 350 that was guaranteed like 430 horse or something. And so, but he bought a much better set of heads. And so this thing makes, probably in street form on the road in real life, when it had a big carb and a intake and all that stuff on it when it was running, it's probably honestly like 460. So just because the heads are that much better and has slightly higher compression, but the cam is what limits it, is that small cam. I think it's 488 510, and these are Harlan Sharp, or no, these are Crane cam 1.5 roller rockers. These heads can handle like 650 lift and all that kind of stuff, and they flow really good, but they're 215, they're pretty neat. So they got the head on it, they got like this hasn't run in a long time, so hence the oil and this primer here. So what we're going to do is rig up my drill, and I'm going to prime it, because I've got Marvel in the cylinders, Marvel Mistral in the cylinders, but I know the pan's dry. And so what I want to do before this thing spins over and I do a bunch of stuff is I want to pre-lube it first and then try spinning it over. I'll put the ratchet on the crank and just spin it around and try and get this thing lubed up and just spinning over. I know it's free. He used to check it all the time. It's freed up. But before I ever start this thing, and certainly before that goes on, and I try and fire it, because that's the goal. My birthday's coming up, and I just want to start this thing and hear it run. Open headers, whatever. There's some carburetors and stuff in the trunk that another good friend of mine sent me, Cameron. Kid I grew up with. He's crazy too. He's a big gearhead like me. In fact, all my good friends are gearheads like you guys, like me. In fact, you guys are, wait a minute, what am I telling you for? You guys are watching this stuff. You know exactly who you are, and you know your stuff when you see it that's on here. There's a blow bell back there. and an M21. It has a hydraulic clutch, but the lines and the master and stuff, none of that stuff's up here. We'll get to that later, but for now, we're going to dump oil in this thing and spin it up with my drill and see if we can get oil coming out of these push rods, because I want to see it build pressure. I probably should put the oil pressure gauge in here and just hang it up so we can watch it. That's what I'm thinking. So follow along in your manuals today, kids, and show and tell, and we'll do that. So I'm gonna set you on top of the table here where all the parts are on the tripod and see if you guys can get a good picture of what's going on. Can you see it pretty good? I wish I had better lighting. I need to fire my lighting guy. My lighting guy, all that stuff. They're really bad at this game. I mean, he's horrible. Okay. 6 minutes in, I have my water. Drink that real fast. Cheapest gauge I could find. Equius, new style, $17. Should work, I'm guessing, I'm hoping. I just want to see this thing make pressure before I actually do anything with it. So, fittings. I'm going to say that is the fitting that I want with the ferrule. Yep, I'm betting that's it. So take this cap off. Lose the ferrule. Oh, the ferrule's in the bag. Sneaky. So if you guys don't know, and most of you do, because anybody watching this channel, more than likely you're a gearhead, because I only know about 5 people. So you guys are watching. You guys are the only ones that know about this. So I'm making this stuff for you. So the line comes through here, ferrule goes in here, the nut pinches it down, and then it makes a good seal. So I'm going to go throw this in the car with some Teflon tape. Where's my tape? Let me see. Let's go find that stuff. Oh, and Dan said too from D&D Speed Shop that I should hook up my battery to this thing, or while I'm charging it, and charge the phone, or not phone. ADD. I looked at my phone. Charge the GoPro by hooking up this to the GoPro battery, and he said it'll charge while it's going, so I don't have to like cut you guys off so much. The only thing I don't know how to fix is why this GoPro makes chapters. It's like every 8 minutes and 50 some seconds it like makes a new chapter. So if that happens today, I'm going to continue and add like 2 videos for this one, even if they're both 8 minutes long. I don't want to like do a bunch of talking and you guys miss out on some really good stuff. So I know I drop a new one every day, but I'm going to drop 2 because you're worth it. This car is worth it, and my birthday's coming up. So ultimately, it's for me, I'm just selfish. I don't really care. Let's see. Cap off. Tape. You know, you guys know how to do it properly. Put the Teflon over it and go in the direction that tightens it. That way your tape does not come off.